So the focus of the class is on the interaction between climate change and society, with eventually getting to the point of thinking about what are the policies that allow us to both adapt and mitigate, adapt to climate change and mitigate the causes of it. It's important that the class is interdisciplinary because it's an interdisciplinary issue. There have been many reasons why we haven't been able to reach a robust climate policy in many countries or internationally, and partly that's because many different disciplines and schools of thought have an important role to play in shaping those policies, and unless you're able to speak the language of each of them, we're just going to be talking past each other.
I decided to take international climate policy because all of the other classes I've taken so far in energy and environment, whether they were at Harris or in my undergraduate education, didn't focus specifically on the climate crisis and on mitigation solutions. And so I saw this class as an opportunity to really zoom into this particular problem and learn more about policy solutions and the complexity of its origins.
It's been awesome to learn from students with different backgrounds, not just from GINA throughout the course of the class. We have students who don't have any hard science background, but have lots of awesome work in advocacy or even outreach, and to sort of have people who have really great understandings of science, but maybe don't have a great or strong communications background, all in the same room is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I think it's important that this class is offered because we're at a real turning point in the climate policy world at the moment. The next decade or two are critically important for what happens with the climate into the future, for the rest of our lives and beyond. Decisions being made in India and China, the United States, right now are going to be with us for decades. And we're at this point now for maybe the next 10 years where the scale of this crisis of the environment that we're facing is becoming apparent. And we probably have a good chance now to try and put in place some policies that will help us and turn back some of the worst impacts that we might see. And I think that's why now is the time for this class, and this decade in particular is critical for climate policy.
The course has made me realize that climate change is an issue that needs a lot of action from different disciplines. And it has made me appreciate what my role potentially could be in the whole spectrum. And I think given my interest in access to energy, I would like to bring some of the science that I have revisited and the economic models that we talked in class about in advocating for more equitable access to renewable systems.
But really what I hope is that it gives them some, I think, empathy as policymakers to start thinking about why it's hard to come up with agreements internationally, domestically, etc. What are the viewpoints of different stakeholders? Who's going to be harmed by a climate mitigation policy in terms of businesses, in terms of local communities, etc., and try and be able to think from those different viewpoints. And I hope that that's what sticks with the students as they leave this class.